Oh my.
Jay had lived in her house for 3 years before she found the room. Tucked inside the attic, accessible only by ladder and barely large enough to stand in, it was the kind of space that feels immediately wrong the moment you enter it. She had only been inside once before posting a video about it online. That video is what started everything. Viewers who watched the clip began pointing out something specific about the room's design and dimensions, something that aligned with accounts of so-called disappointment rooms, hidden spaces reportedly built into certain 19th century American homes to keep family members out of sight, people who were sick or disabled or considered an embarrassment. Jay went back in to look more carefully. What she found raised more questions than it resolved.
I have this little room up in my attic, and I want to show you guys what I found in here. But first, look at this. I've been up here 2 times. I've lived in this house for 3 years, and I've been here. This will be my 2nd time. And I started doing some picking up, but that's my house down there. And this is, so if you close the door, look how tiny it is. But look at the doorknob. It's literally a foot away from the ground. Look at that. Isn't that weird? Okay, so anyways, let me just open that up real quick. I found this little guy up here. He has like a little thing to put batteries, which I'm going to try and see if it works. That'll be so cool, but it's so old and dusty. And I found him back here in this hole. I covered it back up because it's a little scary, but it's full of things. Oh, what was that?
Old objects left behind by whoever had been there last, loose wiring that ran deeper into the wall than it had any obvious reason to, and a hole that seemed to lead somewhere without leading anywhere she could identify or follow. When she leaned in to get a better look, something shifted in the quality of the silence around her. The way she described it afterward was simple. It felt like whatever was on the other side of that wall already knew she was there.
Hey guys, real quick, this is the hole that leads up to the attic, that leads to the room that goes this way. So once you go up to the attic, the door is right here, and then the big room is here. And I don't have a drop down, so I've been using this 6-foot ladder to go up there, and I have to climb my way up the last half because I don't have a long enough ladder. But the intention was to go up there to put these things and use that as a closet upstairs. But anywho, let me show you that there's no holes on the ceilings real quick. So that's one. This is a room, and there's no holes up there, just this big hole that leads up to the attic. And then the living room, there's no holes. Okay, there's a room, there's a hole there, but that's a vent. So I mean, it's you can't really see what was seen on the previous video. Plus I was by myself, there was nobody in here, there was nobody walking around. This is the closet, and then there's one more. Let me show you guys. This is another room. Again, no holes in the ceilings. Another vent, but no like visible holes that you could see through. And then the closet, no holes. But there is a weird little door again. I don't know what's up with the weird little doors. That one's sealed. You can't open it. It's sealed. Let's go upstairs. We're up here already, and I got to the room, and I want to show you guys. I cleaned up a little bit, but to answer some of your questions, someone asked, what does this window lead to right next to the door? And I don't know. It's sealed, and there's like, yeah, it's just covered with siding. And then how did the furniture get up here? I'm assuming somebody built this up here. However, I don't know how this chair got up here. It's pretty big. I'm assuming right before they built the room, maybe they put it up here. I don't know. And then for the hole, there, as you can see, there's electricity. Oh, something else. These cables, these were all plugged in. And they go this way. Let me grab this light so I can show you guys. But we go here. 1 second, because oh god. So the wires go all the way in here and they're connected to something. There's more trash on this side of the house. See? Oh shit, there's a big ass one. Okay, so that's that side, right? The left side. But the right side, let's go take a look at the right side real quick. It's so hot in here. Oh boy. Okay. So there's no mirrors. I know you guys were saying, oh, there's a mirror. There's no mirror. No holes. Just trash.
Jay is certain of one thing above everything else she found up there. That room was not built to be discovered, and whatever was left inside it was not left there by accident. The team behind Scary Talk Ticker had investigated enough locations to know how to read a space. They'd walked through places with genuine histories and come out with compelling footage, and they walked through places that turned out to be nothing. They knew the difference between atmosphere and actual activity. So when they entered this particular abandoned house, one connected to a violent past and immediately described the air inside as heavy. They were inside one of the rooms, cameras running, when something on the floor began to move.
Oricare spirit te află aici, oricare entitate, oricare demon, oricare suflet neliniștit, oricare strigoi, prin puterea primordială prin care am fost investit, îți ordon să miști pina aia. Marș de aici! Bă, mea! Râmea aia, băi, frate! Marș de aici, că nu cred așa ceva. Holy Jesus Christ! Îți ordon să miști pina aia. Marș de aici! Bă, mea! Vă arăt pina asta? Că nu-i legată cu nimic? Hă? Of, Doamne! Vă arăt pina asta? Hă? Știi cum a doua încoace? Iau răstoarnă, învârte-o pe tot. Uite, Dumnezeu, uite. Vă arăt pina asta care nu-i legată cu nimic? Uite picioare în ea, măi. Hă? Dacă răbușa nu e abonată de asta. Dar oricum poate să filmezi, stai seama. Vă arăt, mă, puterea asta primordială?
A doll, lying where it had been left, shifted on its own. Nothing around it, no airflow, no contact. When they moved into another room, they found 2 framed photographs on a surface.
Oricare spirit te afla, oricare entitate, oricare demon, oricare strigoi, prin puterea primordială prin care am fost investit de către patriarh, îți ordon să miști.
Mirela.
Mișcă poza aia sau dă-o jos, fă ceva. Marș de aici! Aoleu! Uitați pozele, uitați poșetele, uitați poza că nu e legată cu nimic. Da? Uitați. Uitați pozele, uitați. Da? Da, Doamne.
And then those began to move as well, independently, the same way the doll had, as though whatever was responding to their presence had simply followed them from one room to the next. What they witnessed after that, in the final moments of their time inside that house, is the part that changed the tone of the entire investigation.
Prin puterea prin care am fost investit, să rup perdeaua aia. Trage-o cât are. Băi, Ali, băi. Doamne, Maică.
Some things are better seen than described. So whatever conclusion you draw about what was present in that building, the footage is there to reach it from. Sayana received a video from her aunt. Ordinary home footage of a young cousin playing alone in a room, moving around happily while his mother filmed him from nearby. Nothing about it registered as unusual on first watch. It looked like exactly what it was supposed to be. It was only when Sayana watched it a second time that she caught it. Something dark crosses the frame.
How mommy say got the stuff look like this? Check it out. Come on.
Fast, but not fast enough. When the footage is slowed down, what initially looked like a blur resolves into something with a defined shape. A torso and what appears to be an arm moving with the kind of purposeful motion that doesn't belong to a shadow or a camera artifact. The detail that made people put down their phones when they saw it was this: whatever passed through that frame had no head. No one else was supposed to be in that room. No one can explain what was. Gustavo Alvarez turned 10 years old and celebrated the way most kids dream of, a family trip to a small amusement park in Maitland, Mexico. The day was going exactly as it was supposed to. Laughter, food. Gustavo had never been on a roller coaster before. That day, he finally decided he was ready. The ride started normally. The cars moved through the track. Everyone screamed the way you're supposed to. But during the second lap, Gustavo's mother noticed something that made her look twice.
Tony.
¡Ay! ¡Ay, mamá, me da miedo! ¡Ay! ¡Ay! ¡Ay, me da miedo! ¡Oh, tu roña! ¿Otra vez?
Sí, son 3 vueltas, son 5 o 6 vueltas.
¡Está bien recio!
Abajo no, abajo, en la parte de abajo no.
¡Y no se cae!
No,
¡Ay!
una pista.
¡Ay! ¡Ay!
Otra.
¡Ay, si no le da recio!
Y fue el señor que se iba, güey. Así es el juego aquí.
¡Mira un brincolín!
¿Cuál?
¡Ay! ¡Ay, aquí donde va! ¡Me da miedo!
The last cart had been completely empty when the ride began. She'd seen it herself. But as the coaster came around, the cart didn't look empty anymore. A dark figure sat perfectly still inside it, dressed in black, not moving the way a person moves when a roller coaster pulls them through turns and drops. just still. What locals shared afterward added a layer to the footage that made it considerably harder to dismiss. Years before the amusement park existed in its current form, a larger ride had occupied the same land. 2 people had died on it. The ride was eventually demolished, but the ground it stood on remained. Some believe what was captured in that last cart never needed a ticket because it never actually left. A group of students were killing time in an empty classroom before their next lesson. Someone started a ghost story, someone else pushed back, and within minutes the whole room was caught up in the kind of competitive storytelling that makes people laugh at their own fear. It was harmless, the kind of thing that happens in empty rooms when there's nothing else to do.
Lupita Jordán. Y y ella era amiga de... No, a la Virgen. No mames. No mames.
Then the lights flickered, just briefly, enough to pull everyone's attention toward the ceiling. When they came back on, the room looked exactly the same, and then a desk and chair began sliding across the floor. Nobody was near them, no hands, no contact, no one even on that side of the room. The furniture moved slowly and steadily, as though something that had been sitting in the corner watching the whole time had finally decided to participate. The students didn't stay to find out more. They were gone before the chair stopped moving. Some believe the storytelling itself stirred something up, that speaking about certain things in certain spaces has consequences. Others think the footage was staged for exactly the reaction it got. Michael Tisdale and his wife moved into a house in Louisiana that had been standing since 1896. From the outside, it had exactly the kind of history that makes old homes appealing. Almost from the first night, the footsteps started. Heavy and measured, moving back and forth along the upstairs hallway at all hours, long after both of them were in bed. After enough sleepless nights, Michael stopped waiting for it to stop on its own. He picked up his phone, pointed it at the staircase, and started climbing.
Alright. I can't believe I'm doing this right now, but something's making noise up here. I'm gonna go check it out again. I'm trying. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, it's alright. Alright. It's just a room, right? Okay. Alright guys, moment of truth. Jesus Christ, okay. Not crazy about this. You get some light. Right? Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna shut this door in case the cat...
The hallway looked empty. Every room he checked looked empty, and then, near one of the doorways, something appeared that he hadn't put there and couldn't explain. A dark shape, occupying space where there was supposed to be nothing, present just long enough to register before it wasn't there anymore. A tattoo studio. Cameras running, artists working, clients waiting, the ordinary atmosphere of a busy shop in the middle of a regular day. Nothing about the environment suggested anything was wrong. And then, Without any preceding sound or movement, several objects launched themselves off a bookshelf simultaneously. Nobody was near it. Nobody had brushed against it or created any vibration that could account for what happened. The objects didn't slide. They came off the shelf with force, as though something had swept them forward, deliberately. One of them struck a man who was sitting nearby waiting for his appointment. He flinched, looked up, processed what had just happened, and then, almost inexplicably, laughed it off. Calm, almost immediately, while everyone around him was still frozen. That reaction is what people kept coming back to in the comments. Not the shelf, not the objects. Him. The way he returned to normal so quickly. On August 30th, 2025, an auction house called RWB Auctions posted security footage to their social media that had nothing to do with upcoming lots or bidding previews. What they shared instead was something their own staff couldn't account for, and they wanted other people to look at it. The footage was recorded at around 2 in the morning. The building was empty, confirmed, locked, no staff on site, and yet the CCTV captured a baby pram rolling slowly across the floor on its own, no one behind it, no visible contact. The doors it passed opened ahead of it and closed behind it, as though whatever was guiding it knew the layout of the space. What kept the footage from being easily dismissed was the pram itself. It wasn't a Victorian antique, the kind of object that gets associated with these stories almost automatically. It was a 1950s model that had been sitting in storage at the auction house for years without drawing any attention or generating any reports. Nothing about it had ever seemed unusual until that night. Management didn't try to rationalize it away. They brought in a psychic medium to walk through the building. Whether that resolved anything for them privately, they haven't said. What they did say, and what the footage makes difficult to argue with, is that when that pram moved, there was nobody there to move it. Pentok 8 is a delivery rider based in Indonesia who records his late-night routes for his followers online. Most of his shifts are uneventful. Drop-offs, quiet roads, the ordinary rhythm of night work in a sleeping city. His audience had come to expect the mundane. But one evening, an order came through that took him away from the city entirely, down a narrow road with no streetlights and nothing on either side. His headlight caught it first. A figure standing in the middle of the road, completely motionless, dressed entirely in white. He didn't stop. He didn't slow down to get a better look. He turned the bike around and left as fast as the road would allow. And he said since that the instinct to leave felt less like fear and more like a warning his body issued before his mind caught up. When he reviewed the footage later, the detail that unsettled him most wasn't the figure itself, it was the posture, the complete stillness, the way it stood in that road like it had been there for a long time and intended to remain. In Indonesian folklore, the image of a motionless woman in white on an empty road at night is not an unfamiliar one. It carries specific meaning for people who grew up with those stories.
Heard you. Holy my.
For several months, a man had been losing sleep over something he couldn't explain. Every night, without fail, the same thing would start up. Heavy footsteps ascending from the basement, carrying real weight, moving up and down the stairs with a slow, deliberate rhythm, as though something down there had a routine. His wife didn't believe him, so one night he grabbed his phone, positioned himself by the basement door, and started recording to prove it.
Like pounding, stuff being moved. You hear it? So anyways, I'm just going, you hear, it sounded like someone walking up down the steps. But anyways, I'm going down and I've decided to videotape it to have proof for my wife. She doesn't believe me. All right, here we go. Hello? I know I hear you down here. I know I heard you. Holy, oh my, dude. I just saw, holy man, holy, dude,
What his camera picked up in that stairwell stopped him cold. A dark shape, fluid and fast, appeared briefly before dissolving back into the darkness below. He didn't investigate further. He didn't go back downstairs that night. And not long after, the family made the decision to leave entirely. 6 months passed before he posted again. New house, fresh start, everything the previous one wasn't supposed to be. Except something felt off almost immediately after they arrived.
Having some really weird happening to me lately. Just in our new house, I moved, and tonight, by just stuff is happening. My dog is acting nuts, and on the charger, battery's at 15%. But anyways, just having weird stuff happening, dog flipping out, and since we've been moving here, that the whole house kind of just has been getting crazy. I remodeled, remodeled kitchen, did everything. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Dude!
The dog was restless in a way that had nothing to do with the move. And then, in the background of a video he almost didn't record, an object shifted on its own. So what do you think followed him? If you made it through all of these, drop a comment and tell me which one actually got to you. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's a good time. See you in the next one.